you talk a little bit about not just buying sponsorships, but you talk about adding value to
Yeah.
sponsorships, right? What do you mean by adding value to the sponsorship?
I tell you what, Matt, it was an aha moment during COVID shutdown and everything was virtual. We all remember it. And I was chasing my own tail, trying to figure out ways to connect with people. And one of the sponsorships that they offered was put your logo here on this page. Everything was virtual. So it was all about images and clicks and everything. And so I sent my logo and then I refreshed my screen to see what people were doing, whose logo was already submitted, and I saw someone that had submitted not only their logo but a little call to action. Well, it wasn't a call to action, a little be sure that you ask about our ABC widget.
Yeah.
And I thought, why am I just sending them a logo? They just want a JPEG. They don't care if it's my logo in, 100% or if it's my logo and a call to action. So I started realizing that, especially on those things where the very minimum they want your logo, that's the first place you can start to add value. What is your messaging that you're going to have? Start considering adding that to your logo spot, because they don't care if it's your logo or if it's a JPEG of something else. They just want you to submit a JPEG.
How much adaptability do you think events are willing to allow in
It
terms of
depends what your budget
sponsorships?
will take.
Mhm.
That's
But you
that's
can
when
ask,
you're,
right? I mean, you can ask,
yeah,
"Hey, can I do
yeah,
this?" Like, I encourage our
absolutely.
clients all the time, like, "Ask, ask,
Yeah,
ask, can you
absolutely.
do this?" I mean, why not?
And sometimes, Matt, they'd never even thought about it.
Mhm.
I'll say, well, can I do a standing sign? Oh, well, we've never thought about doing a standing sign. Well, I've already decided I need to be in hallway A for the dirt analyzing people.
Yeah.
So I need a standing sign in hallway A. And then I just have to mention, hey, can we do a standing sign or a stanchion at their water cooler or something? So I can reinforce that we're talking dirt in booth 123.
Yep.
And all you have to do is that asking thing. You have to be brave enough to ask. I know
Yeah.
people that are, if you're doing fight, flight, or freeze, I know people that would flight every time. I'm not
Yep.
asking. If it's not offered,
Yeah.
I'm not asking. Can I have an extra glass of water when I'm sitting down at the table? No, I am not asking. If they forget my water, I'm just going to not drink anything.
Yeah.
So they would not even dream of talking to the event planners about, could you offer something or would you consider offering something? Most times I get a yes, we haven't thought about it, or let me find out.
Yeah, I would encourage it. I mean, it makes me think of an idea, like a very common thing is to sponsor a lunch, right?
Yeah.
Where you can
Mhm.
sponsor a lunch. And to what we talked about earlier, if that lunch is specific to you or you feel like your ICP, your client, your customer is in that lunch,
Yeah.
well, I would say, hey, we'll sponsor the lunch for X. Question: can I bring in a barista and do a coffee bar inside
Yes.
the lunch? Can I add, I'll
Yes.
pay for it. Can I
Yeah.
add to it? Because after lunch, a lot of people want coffee.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can have custom napkins or
Yes.
drink things that go around the
Yep.
coffee that have
Yep.
a message that go
Absolutely.
around it. So now you're
Yeah.
giving out your own custom coffee.
Yep.
It costs you more, but you're
Right.
bringing that value. Like there's so many different things where
Yeah.
you just, I would encourage people, think outside the box
Yeah.
because you
And
can
Matt,
ask, never
a lot of
hurts.
times when I'm at a small booth, the reason I have a small booth is not because my budget is small. It's just because the hall only has small booths.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not
Oh, yeah.
it's not a big event. If I'm going to a specific crime lab meeting on the East Coast and it's only crime directors from Massachusetts, that's not a big group of people. So I've
Yep.
got a small area. So I might be able to get budget if I'm decided, you know what, there are 10 key crime labs in the Massachusetts area that we need to get in front of. Let me sponsor that lunch. Let me bring in that barista. And like you said, all you have to do is ask. And the great thing about sponsoring a lunch or something is you can get creative. If you don't have barista money, you can say, can I supply the cups? and then do branded reusable cups?
Yeah.
Or can I supply bottles of water and do branded bottles of water?
Yeah. I
Something to
mean,
get in front of that customer base.
say a part of your message is sustainability, right?
Hmm.
Like, could you bring in, you'd say sustainable or green
Hmm.
plates, napkins, cups? Say, hey,
Yep.
can I bring these in? Can we have a message on them about
Yes.
sustainability? Like, you constantly have to think and constantly have to ask.
And the exhibit companies, the people running the organizations running these events don't usually mind if you're solely sponsoring something for you to supply
Yeah.
paperware and other things. Oftentimes they'll say, bring in a flyer and leave a flyer. Well,
Mhm.
instead of a flyer, could I do a flash drive that has, all of my products listed on it or all of my information? A lot of times I'll just leave postcards at the spot and say, come to our booth for the XYZ premium,
Yeah.
and then I've got a way to scan their badge and hand them the XYZ premium.